The video that you're about to watch is an excerpt from a live webinar. If you enjoy the contents of this video, please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments. Thanks for watching. Energy healing is a technology, essentially, of consciousness, and it's based on the premise of focusing attention or awareness, which is essentially pure source material. Okay, so we have like the source of creation, and then we've got the whole manifest field, the way the source shows up in order to affect its own evolution. Essentially, that's it. There's one source of creation, and it wants to evolve, and it does so by manifesting this material realm of creation and then interacting with the manifested field or realm of creation in a way that promotes its own evolution. That's a story. It's the one story that's happening. And all of our little individual evolutionary stories that are, part and parcel of that one big story. So awareness or attention is source material. Like we have the autonomy and freedom to focus source material around, to like guide it around the universe, wherever we want to guide it around. And it's so fluid. It's so flexible. It is not constrained by space or time or anything. Your imagination is the limit, kind of. It can just literally go anywhere you can think to go. You can put your awareness there. Ends of the universe and back again, right? So awareness is a powerful thing because wherever it goes, it enlivens or awakens the value of source there where it goes. And the principle is that illness or infirmities or imbalances are they are the dynamic interface between the source of creation manifesting into a form that it has created, where the form becomes, we could say the form requires some transformation. I was going to say the form becomes insufficient, but it's that the form is overwhelmed by the diversity of the field within which it resides. Maybe I better say that again, because this is really an interesting and key point. Imbalances or infirmities, sickness, illness, problems, issues, even lessons, challenges that we face. All these problemy things are the byproduct of the fact that the form that's trying to sort of harbor growth at that moment is overwhelmed by the field in which it is residing. So the form is not integrating its own place and position within the field. It's therefore the overwhelm causes the form and causes the consciousness that's using that form as an anchor to the relative, you could say. It causes the consciousness to forget its connection to wholeness. It forgets that it is made of the one, right? Because the whole thing is just the one. There's one source of creation is doing this thing. But as it does it, it's like, it's doing it kind of like daringly, like it's taking a few risks, you could say. The one is taking a few risks, and it'll create a form that's so like out there. It's so enmeshed in the field of form itself that the form and all that's part and parcel with that form, all the consciousness within it and feelings and everything, forget that they're part of the one. So there's a piece. And so we could say, to put that really simply, separation is the foundation of all problems. There, in a sentence, separation is the foundation of all problems. But the mechanics, the reason I said it complicatedly is because it's important to understand exactly what does that mean when we say separation. What do we mean when we say separation? Because in order to heal the problem, we have to actually understand what precisely is going on there. And precisely the evolutionary process of the one as experienced by us as humans. So we're experiencing that evolutionary process as a coordination between expansion of consciousness and refinement of the nervous system. More expansion of consciousness, more refinement of the nervous system. More expansion of consciousness, more refinement of the nervous system. And this process of expanding consciousness and refining the nervous system, and expanding consciousness and refining the nervous system more like that, what it does is it gives rise to a form, a physical form that is so flexible and so stable that no matter how big the consciousness expands, no matter how much the source of creation moves into the field, and it expresses itself as diversity and interesting interest and differences, the one is never lost. The connection to the one is never lost because the form is integrated. So it's lack of integration in the form, which is responsible for feeling overwhelmed by the expanded experience. And that feeling overwhelmed causes the anchor back to the wholeness to be lost. And as soon as the anchor back to the wholeness is lost, then we have to go through a process of regaining it. And that's what we would call the healing process. That is the healing process, is reestablishing connection with wholeness. And as connection with wholeness is reestablished, the form evolves. The body, the nervous system, the physical structure that houses the consciousness changes, becomes more refined, more perfect an expression of the one, more filled with light, more balanced, more balanced. So energy healing is the mechanics by which we seek out those areas that have gotten overwhelmed by the field and by the universe. It's a big universe, right? It's easy, like we're just like little tinier than grains of sand, and it's easy to be overwhelmed by the universe. And energy healing is the process of seeking out, figuring out like which area we need to look at, which is the most overwhelmed at any given moment, and then focusing awareness, which is source material, in on that part. And by focusing awareness in, activating or enlivening wholeness within that part, because the wholeness is always there. Like the wholeness is actually never lost. Even when the part feels overwhelmed, wholeness is still there. So, but the focusing of attention reminds the part that the wholeness is still there. And so when the part has been reminded that the wholeness is still there, the part goes, oh, you know what? I'm uncomfortable because I need to change like this. And the presence of the awareness creates this trust and softness, and it kind of creates all the conditions required to help the part which has lost its way and it feels separate find its way back. And the fun of energy healing is kind of being engaged with that process and watching that process, witnessing it, and also promoting it, and enjoying how that process gives what we would call meaning to our human lives. It gives meaning to life.